hope you are staying focused on the divinity within your heart flame and your holy breath during the most intensified shift of consciousness humanity has ever experienced. These are wondrous times, but I do not think anyone doubts that these are also very challenging times. But this simple statement, when believed too quickly, becomes the foundation for a complex web of projections, roles, and unseen agreements that quietly shape the entire dynamic between two souls. In most relationships, especially those marked by love, intensity, or long history, each person does not meet the other as they are in the present moment. Rather, they meet as a reflection, a reenactment, a magnetized echo of something unresolved, unfinished, or unmet from the past. We are now on the threshold of a quantum shift that will raise the frequency of vibration of every person, place, condition, and thing on Earth. This monumental event is being initiated as we reach the inflection point from the cosmos that is known as the Lion's Gate. On July 22nd, we entered the sun cycle of Leo. As I mentioned in Vlog 81, that is the day celebrated by billions of people around the world as Mary Magdalene's feast day. Mary Magdalene is one of the exponents of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love. On July 22nd every year, she floods the earth through the collective cup of humanity's consciousness with our Mother wondrous love and an activity of light that she determines is the greatest need of the hour for humanity. This enhances every particle and wave of life on Earth and prepares humanity for July 26, which is known through all time and space continuums as the Galactic New Year. At this time, Sirius rises in sacred tandem with our Sun. During the opening of the Lion's Gate, the Earth aligns with Sirius and Leo, and a new cycle of time and space begins. The soul, sensing familiarity in the energy of the other, reaches inward and takes up a role almost instinctively, as if saying, "Ah, yes, I remember this pattern. Let me step into it once more, and perhaps this time I will find closure." This is what many call karma, though it is not punishment, nor is it personal. It is simply a loop, a sacred repetition of storylines waiting to be seen clearly and dissolved through awareness. It is the soul's attempt to complete what was once fragmented, not by changing the other, but by finally coming into full presence with what has always lived within. In this way, one partner may become, without intending to, the stern father figure the other never reconciled with, or the absent mother, or the disapproving sibling, or just as often, the ghost of an ex-lover still haunting the nervous system with unspoken words and unmet needs. This year, 2025, is the very first time the full power and might of the awesome cosmic light flowing through the Lion's Gate will bless Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her, unimpeded by the grossly mutated psychic astral realm of illusion. The Company of Heaven and the Galactic Federation of Light are assuring us that this year, through this annual alignment and the opening of the portal of the fifth dimensional Lion's Gate, we will be blessed with what will be perceived as manna from heaven. This year, the celestial alignment that is creating the sacred space for the opening of the Lion's Gate is providing us with an unparalleled opportunity. Now being released through the portal of the Lion's Gate is a frequency of solar light codes beyond anything we have ever experienced. We are also receiving an octave of photonic energy that will positively affect every particle and wave of life on Earth. With the unique awakening taking place at this time within the hearts and minds of the masses of humanity, people everywhere are beginning to ponder who they are and why they are on Earth during this auspicious time. One of the vitally important things the solar light codes and the photonic energy is helping our I am presence to accomplish is dissolving from our etheric records and memories the illusions and the misperceptions from our past of who we are and why we are here. The relationship becomes a stage, and the people upon it become actors, wearing costumes sewn from memory, emotion, and ancestral expectation. And so, even though two people may believe they are relating authentically in truth, they are often holding mirrors for one another, locked in a spell of mutual reflection, unable to step off the stage long enough to ask, "Who are you, really, outside of what I see?" What is most surprising and often painful is that within these roles, one can forget their own essence entirely. You may begin to speak words you never meant, feel emotions that don't belong to you, or carry burdens that seem suddenly heavy but strangely familiar. Because in that moment, you are no longer yourself, but an echo, a mirror. To break this karmic enchantment is not to leave the relationship, though sometimes that may occur. The deeper invitation is to release the role you have taken on, to step back from the identity you assumed in their presence, and to return to the simple truth. I do not know you as I thought I did. I do not need to be who I became to survive this connection. During this auspicious time, the company of heaven is reminding us of what they revealed when we birthed this new decade. They said that during the next 10 years, humanity will change the course of history for Mother Earth and all her life. They said that during this decade, 2020 to 2030, humanity will begin developing our latent abilities through which we will literally transfigure our earthly bodies and our outer world life experiences into the heart-based patterns of perfection associated with the fifth dimensional new earth. The beings of light said this incomprehensible transfiguration will be accomplished through a greatly expanded collaboration between the company of heaven, the Galactic Federation of Light, and an awakened humanity. Our Father, Mother God said this degree of collaboration between heaven and earth has never before been attempted. In 2020, due to the monumental shifts that had taken place since the birth of the new decade and the forced global planetary pause we were all experiencing due to COVID, on August 8th, as the opening of the Lion's Gate reached its pinnacle, our God-breathed Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her, through the original Lion's Gate that pulsates above the pyramid in Giza, Egypt, into the much higher frequencies of the fifth dimensional crystalline solar Lion's Gate that pulsates in the atmosphere above the new Earth. The willingness to set down the mask of wife, husband, healer, rescuer, villain, child, teacher, and to meet again from the place of unknowing, where friendship becomes possible and curiosity replaces expectation. To move from the contract of roles into the openness of real presence is a sacred passage. It may feel at first like a loss, for when the mirror is put down, the illusion of closeness may fade. But what arises in its place is something more enduring: the spaciousness to be, the freedom to grow, and the quiet permission to not need the other to complete any unspoken story. This is why some of the deepest love arises not from the ones who played a role in your wounding, but from those who meet you without projection, without assumption, without the old scripts. They do not demand that you stay in character. They allow you to be fluid, unfamiliar, changing. And this is the beginning of what I would call real love. Not because it is free from challenge, but because it is free from role play. To truly love another is to no longer require them to hold your reflection. It is to let them be unknown and to still remain. It is to say, I will not ask you to heal my past. I will not become your unfinished story, but I will stay present with who you are now, even if I don't yet understand it. For 5 years now, our I Am presence has been intuitively guiding us in ways that have been difficult for us to ignore. No longer is this communication from our I Am presence just a still small voice within striving to be heard above the clamor and chaos in the outer world. This aspect of our divinity is now an ever-present inner knowing and intuitive guide that is not allowing us to comfortably behave in ways that reflect the obsolete fear-based patterns of separation and duality anymore. Of course, we have the free will to ignore the inner guidance from our I Am presence. But when we try to do that, we feel the painful results of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions that are not based in love much more acutely. If you are experiencing any doubt about that statement, the company of heaven said all you have to do is observe the events unfolding in your life and notice how those events are affecting you mentally and emotionally